All right, today we are diving into a really simple, but honestly, a game-changing philosophy from Japan. It's a system that can take any chaotic space, and I mean any space, from a huge factory floor to your own messy desk, and bring it back to order. It's called 5S, and it's all about reclaiming your focus and your efficiency. You know that feeling, right? That frantic search for your keys, or that one specific document, or the tool you know you just saw a minute ago. That frustration? It's not just a minor annoyance. It's a silent killer of our time, our energy, and our productivity. And here's the thing. That disorder isn't just a mess you can see. It's actually costly. Every single minute you spend looking for something is a minute you're not creating, not producing, not even relaxing. But, and this is the good news, there's a proven, structured way to fight back against the chaos. So what is 5S exactly? Well, I can tell you it is so much more than just a weekend cleanup project. Think of it as a complete system, born from Japanese management wisdom, designed to build an environment where doing your best work feels almost effortless. So here's how we're going to break it all down. We'll start with the core philosophy, and then we're going to walk through each of the 5 principles one by one to see what makes this whole system click. At its heart, 5S isn't just about making things look neat. It's really about creating an environment of respect and self-discipline where the system itself helps everybody perform better. So let's see how that all starts with the very first step, which you could argue is the most important one. The first principle is seiri, which means to sort. And this is all about making a pretty ruthless distinction between what is absolutely essential for the work and what isn't. And then you've got to have the courage to get rid of the rest. So how do you do that? Well, there's this incredibly powerful tool called the red tag campaign. It's a really simple but super effective way to identify every single item in your workspace that might be unnecessary, old, or just plain in the wrong place. Now, the absolute genius of the red tag system is that it takes the immediate emotional decision out of the equation. So you're not throwing things out right away, you're just questioning them. By moving everything with a tag to a holding area, you create this buffer. If a month or two goes by and nobody has even asked for that item, well, this decision to get rid of it becomes totally logical, not emotional. And that right there is the powerful secret behind seiri. Real, lasting organization doesn't start with buying new storage bins. Nope, it starts with elimination. When you clear out all that clutter, you create the space, both physical and mental, for the next steps to actually work. Okay, so once you've cleared out everything you don't need, it's time for the next 2 S's. Seitan, which means setting things in order, and seiso, which means to shine or clean. This is where we create a logical and spotless workspace. All right, the second principle, seitan, or set in order. This is all about eliminating wasted time and motion. The goal is simple. A place for everything and everything in its place. That way, finding something and putting it back takes seconds, not minutes. Those visual cues you see, like tool outlines or marked floors, they aren't just for looks. They're designed to make doing the right thing the easiest thing. And this brings us to seiso, or shine. Now take a look at this comparison, because this is a huge mindset shift. Seiso isn't just about cleaning. It's about inspection through cleaning. Think about it. When the person who uses the machine is also the one who cleans it, they become the first line of defense. They're the one who's going to notice a loose bolt or a tiny oil leak long before it becomes a massive breakdown. It's proactive, not reactive. Okay, so you've sorted everything out, you've set it all in order, and the place is shining. Fantastic. But how do you keep it from sliding right back into chaos a month from now? Well, that is the job of the 4th S, seiketsu, or standardize. This is how you lock in all that progress. Standardization is what makes the whole system stick. This means creating simple, visual tools, things like daily checklists, clear charts showing who's responsible for what area, and maybe even setting aside 5 minutes at the end of the day for quick cleanup. It's all about building these new habits directly into the normal workflow. And that brings us to the final S, shitsuke, which means to sustain or to build discipline. And I'll be honest, this is often the hardest as to master, but it's also the most important. It's about weaving the 5S philosophy into the very fabric of your culture. The final S is shitsuke, or sustain. Now, when we talk about discipline here, we're not talking about being restrictive or harsh. It's about a shared commitment, a collective will to uphold the new standards, even when it's tempting to just let things slide. When this kind of discipline becomes part of the culture, 5S stops being a project and it just becomes the way we do things around here. So this all sounds great in theory, right? But does it actually work in the real world? Oh, absolutely. Let's take a look at a case study of an enamel factory that used 5S to tackle some major problems they were having with safety and product quality. The impact on safety was immediate, and it was dramatic. I mean, just look at this chart. They went from an average of 5 safety incidents every single month, we're talking slips, trips, falls, all the way down to just 1. That is a massive improvement in people's well-being. And the effect on product quality? Just as impressive. For a business where even a little bit of cross-contamination could ruin an entire batch of product, creating a clean, standardized process had a huge payoff. They slashed their defects and saw their final product quality jump from 88% all the way up to 95%. And the wins just kept stacking up. They recovered over 100 square meters of usable floor space just by getting rid of stuff they didn't need. They color-coded machinery for safety, got rid of pests and spills, and, maybe most importantly, they saw this huge boost in teamwork and employee morale. What this all proves is that 5S is not just for factories. It's a fundamental shift in how you think that can be applied literally anywhere. I mean, think about it. Sort, set in order, shine, standardize, and sustain. Those principles work just as well for your garage, your kitchen, or even the digital chaos on your computer's desktop. So, as we wrap up, I'll just leave you with this one question. What is the one area in your life that could be completely transformed if you just started with that first step? What could you accomplish by simply sorting the essential from the non-essential? Remember, that whole journey from chaos to clarity, it always begins with one single step.